Ladies, what is going on with your money? Are you using the stimulus to splurge? Or are you using your stimulus to catapult you forward in your financial plan? What about your career? Is it a daily grind you hate every Monday and you can't wait to get out of there? Or are you working on your dream job? Good questions. How about your relationships? Do you and your spouse or you and your accountability partner talk together about where you are going to spend any unexpected money? These are all important questions that we ask here on The katihyershow. I am your host, Katie Hyer, and I am doing this show because my husband and I made 154,000 money mistakes and lived to tell the tale. So I'm hoping that this tell-all will help you to go and do better in your money. And of course, money touches all aspects of our life, including our careers, our relationships, and of course, personal finance. So that's what we talk about here on The katihyershow. Now, you know, if you've been tracking with me, that I like to look back at ancient wisdom from scripture about what can we do today in our own personal lives, in our own personal finances. So I've been tracking along with the Proverbs 31 woman, who is so much more than an apron-wearing, cake-baking housewife. She's good at finances, she's good at investing, she's good at real estate. So I think she's good for us to talk about. Proverbs 31:22 says, "She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple." Another version of old says, "She prepareth pillows of fine tapestry. She has made ornamental coverings for herself. Her clothes are silk and purple." Okay, I like those two different versions. Here's a third to consider. She makes her own bedspreads. She makes quilts. Okay, this is why it is so important to read different translations of old texts to get different perspectives on what the original truth said. And this whole, she makes her own comforters and she's a quilter, gets it wrong. That's not what this is about. This is not about Laura Ingalls Wilder making her own quilts to survive the Wisconsin winter. If you think back 2,700 years, we're talking there is no social safety net. We're talking a lion is going to come out and eat you. You live in the desert. Where's your food coming from? And yet, the Proverbs 31 woman has fine ornamental tapestries, lovely silk and purple clothes. What does that all mean? She was able to use her wealth to indulge. And that's what this episode is all about. Is it okay to enjoy my money? You know, there is a myth out there that poverty is noble, that you can't enjoy what you make. It's just slave all day, slave all year, slave your whole life long, and never enjoy it. But that's the wrong way of thinking, and frankly, it's not biblical. Because there are only 3 things you can do with money. 3 things, that's it. You can save it. I put investing it under that category. You can give it, donate it, send it to your church, put it in a charity. Or you can spend it. And you should do all 3 in balance. So, money is for 3 things, and spending it is one of them. Now, church people, listen up, church people. Spending money is important. I say this, my beloved church people, because my waiter friends tell me there is nothing worse than waiting tables on a Sunday. Church people, you got a reputation for being cheap. Don't be cheap when it comes to giving. Be good. Be generous. Okay. That was a sidebar. Back to the topic at hand. Am I allowed to indulge once in a while? Am I allowed to splurge? Indulge? Yes. Splurge? No. Splurging tends to mean I'm just going to cover my eyes and swipe. Oh, I splurged. I went on a splurge trip. I went grocery shopping and I really splurged this time. Splurging really means you did not take into account what you actually had to spend and you spent more. We don't do that anymore, people. Katihyershow friends, we do not splurge, but you can indulge. So, how do you know when you can indulge? Spend some of that hard-earned money on something luxurious, something nice. This is the lesson. You can indulge yourself, your family, your friends, whatever. You can indulge with your money as long as it fits in the plan. The baby steps. How do you know it's in the plan? There are 3 ways to make sure your indulgence fits in the plan. Number 1, you are on baby step 4 through 7. If you want to do a big spend, a big splurge, you got to be on steps 1 through 7. I'm sorry. You got to be on steps 4 through 7. Now let's go back really quickly through the baby steps. Number 1, save $1,000. This is your emergency fund. This is where you draw a line in the sand and you say, I am no longer going to live paycheck to paycheck. I am going to have a buffer in my life. $1,000. It's your baby starter emergency fund to give you a little margin between you and all the things that can go wrong in life. Baby step 2, pay off all your debt. Pay it all off. My husband and I, a year ago, finished paying off $154,000 of student loans. It had turned into $195,000 by the time we were done. But that was finally the end of baby step 2. Then we moved right on into baby step 3, which is what you should do as soon as all of your debt, except for the mortgage, is paid off. Credit cards, car loans, HELOCs, personal loans, payday loans, the financed couch, medical bills, student loans. If it's got a payment, it's probably a debt. After you're done paying all your debts off, except for the house, you are in baby step number 3, and that is where you save a real emergency fund of 3 to 6 months expenses. This way, when a real emergency comes along, like a layoff or a disability or your company shuts down or you got to take care of a sick family member, you have real savings to live off of for 3 to 6 months while you figure out the new plan going forward. If you're in baby steps 1 through 3, you do not get to indulge. These are the everything is on fire steps. This is the I gotta sell so much stuff my kid things are next steps. These are the I'm sorry, I can't go anywhere today because I'm working 4 jobs. These are the can I get a raise? Can I get a promotion? Can I get overtime steps? These are the steps where you change your life and stop paying for yesterday. This is when you clean up the mess so that you can enter in the invest in tomorrow steps, which are baby steps 4 through 6. Baby step 4 is invest. Invest 15% for retirement. This is in stuff like your 401k or your IRA, and it is so nice, guys, to be actually investing in tomorrow instead of looking at all that interest you're still spending on yesterday. Baby step 5 is save for your kids' college. This is a very flexible step because A, not everybody has kids. B, not everybody's kids are going to college. And C, not everybody can pay for any or part of their kids' college. So this part is really about you being intentional in your family and deciding well ahead of time, how are we going to help our adult children leave the nest? Maybe that looks like community college and you can help pay for some in-state tuition. Maybe that looks like you paying for HVAC school. Maybe that looks like I can't pay anything, honey, but you can live here for free. That depends on your family, but baby step 5 is actually putting that plan into motion. That way your kids start off their adult life on the right foot and not with $100,000 in student loans and a degree in underwater basket weaving. Step 6 is pay off your home early. This is where you knock a little bit out extra every month, extra on the mortgage. So that way, when you enter retirement, you don't have a mortgage. You don't have any payments. Pay it off early. And baby step 7 is build wealth and give. If you have no payments and you have your investments rolling and your kids are set for college and you have no mortgage, then every penny you earn, it is just going to go to building your legacy and impacting your community with outrageous generosity. Baby steps 4 through 7 are the steps where you can enjoy indulging. 4 through 7, not baby steps 1 through 3. So number 1, you know you can indulge if you are on baby step 4 or higher. Number 2, it's in the budget. You still use the budget no matter what step you're on, 4, 5, 6, or 7. You don't just use a budget when you are in steps 1 through 3. Sometimes people give budget a bad rap because they feel like it means straitjacket or a noose or some kind of terrible prison-like control. But that's not the case. A budget is like a blueprint. You want to use a blueprint when you build a house so you know it will stand when you move into it. A budget is a recipe or a travel itinerary. It is a plan for your money to help you get to where you want to go. So number 2, whatever this indulgence is, it has to fit in the budget. No closing your eyes and swiping. And then number 3, how do you know if you can spend on this indulgence? Your spouse or your accountability partner agrees. When we were done with our student loans and we were done with our 3 to 6 months expenses, it was on to step 4. We bought a couch, a really, 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 really nice couch, a leather couch. Couch I should not have purchased because I have children and children who love markers and pens and dirt. But other than the children, I love that couch. That couch was an indulgence, but it fit within the plan because we were in the right steps. It was in the budget, and my husband and I were in agreement. That's the three ways you know if you can spend on this thing. Now, for those friends of mine who are on baby steps 1 through 3, no, not the time to indulge. Do not use your stimulus to buy a couch if you are on baby steps 1 through 3. Instead, use those funds, any extra funds you find, to catapult you, to propel you through your financial plan. Fill up your emergency fund if you don't have your $1,000. Pay off that credit card if you still have loans. And then fill up your real fully funded emergency fund if you're on step 3. So what do you do when you're craving a little luxury in life? You work really hard. You've been really diligent. Don't spend it all on Amazon or Sephora. Instead, think about some ways to live luxuriously for free. And I have 10 ideas for you for how you can feel luxurious for free or almost free. Number 1, dress up, use nice plates, maybe light some candles, and actually sit at the dinner table for a meal. If you act like your house is a restaurant and, oh my gosh, you just put on a show for yourself and your family, it will be so fun and it will not break the budget. We've done this before and it is such a treat. So number 1, have a fancy dinner at home. Number 2, vacation at home for us starts with music during breakfast on a Saturday. I love the sound of my husband making pancakes and eggs in the kitchen. And when he is blasting music through the speaker in our kitchen, it just feels like we're on vacation. So I say give it a shot. Try a little staycation with music and breakfast. It will feel luxurious. Number 3, you love to go out to eat, but you're not going out to eat if you're in steps 1 through 3. So instead, look up a copycat recipe and try your hand at that restaurant's specialty in your own house. My in-laws are famous for this. In fact, they introduced me to this. They have become so good at discerning what's in a dish. They would sit around, for example, at an Olive Garden and think, oh, I think there's a little sausage in this. Okay, well, what kind of beans are they using? Oh, it's clearly a kidney bean. Celery, carrot, onion, and thyme. They would figure out what was in the recipe, and then they would go make it at home. And now their food is way better than any of those restaurants. It's really incredible. Well, you can look up copycat recipes at home. You can make Chick-fil-A chicken at your own house. You can make Carrabba's pasta at home. Look up a copycat recipe, and they are all over Google, and you will have fun bringing the restaurant to your own kitchen for much less than if you would have gone out. Number 4, use the library. Go to the library and just dig into all the current magazines. Pore over those magazines. Check out the latest bestsellers. It feels very indulgent to stand in line at the grocery store and think about buying all those magazines. I love Real Simple. I love recipe magazines, but I just don't put them in my budget. I do not value that high enough to buy them, even though I really do like them. I love the beautiful layouts. I love the funny articles. So go to the library. Your library has tons of magazine subscriptions and, of course, plenty of books to choose from. Use your library. It won't cost you a cent. Number 5, have some friends over for theme night, Italian night, or Greek night, or Southern night. And then after you eat this themed meal where everybody brings a piece of it, have a movie, The Italian Job, or watch some Southern Sweet Home Alabama, or some movie that My Big Fat Greek Wedding, something that goes with the meal. It feels so fun. It'll be like you're traveling, but you're right at home, and you already know you're going to love everybody you meet because it's your friends. Number 6, do a clothing swap with your friends. It is really nice to go shopping and to get new clothes. Totally agree. But if you do not have it in the budget, if you are not in baby steps 4 through 7, you're not shopping. You're using your clothes you already have, and you are mix and matching, going to work, going to school, going to fun in your current wardrobe. You are not shopping. So you can do a shoe swap or a clothing swap or a jewelry swap. Temporarily, just borrow it for a fun night out with your spouse, where you do a free date, of course. Or say, I never wear this, and it would go in your closet perfectly, or this would look great on you. Do a swap, try a swap. Gentlemen, okay, you haven't been fishing in a while? Try your friend's gear or your friend's kayak or your friend's canoe or anything. There's all sorts of stuff you can do outside so you get that little taste of new, something fresh, without spending a lot of money. Without spending any money, perhaps. That would be even better. Number 7, go on a photo shoot with you and your spouse or you and your friends with just you, some fancy clothes or silly clothes or whatever clothes, and your phone. That would be such a fun way to feel fancy. Then make plans to print those photos for, I think they're 17 cents a photo. 17 cents. That's it. That is almost free. And it feels indulgent when you get a great shot of you against a sunset or at that cool mural downtown. And it's free or almost free. Number 8, make a coffee bar at your house. Get all the coffee stuff out, or if you like tea, you don't like coffee, get all the tea stuff out and arrange it beautifully using things you already have. Use a big bowl to put all of your Keurig supplies in, or Put out all your beautiful matching mugs in a row and designate a little coffee bar, and then have friends over or spend some time with your spouse having Starbucks at home. Do the fancy coffee at your own house for free, and it'll feel special and luxurious. Number 9, clean out your car. Wait, Katie, this one comes with work. Well, each one comes with a little effort, but I know if you have a clean car, especially a clean smelling car, that car feels new. Car feels new and wonderful and luxurious. This is probably something your kids can help you with. A clean car does feel like a new car, except for without the payments. Speaking of payments, did you know that the average car payment today is $568 a month? If you took that monthly payment and instead of sending it to the car company for yesterday, instead invested it for tomorrow from the age of 30 to 60 using mediocre mutual funds in the stock market, that you would have $1,032,862. Hope you like the car. Back to my luxuries list of free or almost free luxuries. This is a good reminder to never have a car payment. Number 10, have a vision dinner. Have you ever heard of a vision weekend? My husband and I went on a vision weekend 2 weeks ago. No children. Our first child-free trip in 6 years. And we used that time to, yes, have fun. Yes, do a little sightseeing. But also the whole time we were talking and planning and scheming about our dreams and our vision for our life together. Now, if you were like me a couple years ago, in thousands of dollars of debt, you cannot do a vision weekend. You can't afford to get away. You can't afford a sitter for 4 days. You can't afford hotels. No. But you can do a vision dinner. Or if you're not married, you and your friends can have a vision board potluck. This is just a time where you come together and you intentionally dream out loud about, what does life hold for me? Dream about what you want your finances to look like. Dream about what your community life, your social life, your friends, what does that look like? What about your career? Dream about, where do I want to be in 5 years, 10 years? At the end of my career, what do I want to have achieved? Dream about your family. What does an ideal family life balance look like to you? Is it you and the grandparents go on a trip every year? Is it you and the kids go on daddy, son, mommy, daughter dates every month? Is it we're going to have some kind of family tradition together? What does that look like? Dream and be intentional about your family. What about your health goals? Are you going to run a marathon? Are you going to join a gym finally? Are you going to become a runner? What is it? What is your health goal? You need to have goals around your spiritual walk. Do you do a quiet time every day? Are you learning about God? Are you talking with other people about struggles in your faith? What does it look like? Do you want to start a Bible study? Do you want to just go to church for the first time in a long time and find one that fits your family? These are spiritual goals. You need to talk about those too. And then lastly, you need to have educational or intellectual goals your whole life. Always be learning. What books do you want to read? What certificate do you want to achieve? What is the next step for you to level up educationally or intellectually? Come together with your friends or your spouse and dream about these things. Make your dream crystal clear through a vision dinner. The definition of luxury is, quote, the state of great comfort and extravagant living. It is luxury. It is a great comfort to have a dream with a plan that will get you there. I hope this has been helpful for you. I want to hear back from you. I am hearing tons of stories from all sorts of people. People paying off credit cards, people paying off their wedding, people paying off things left and right, finally rolling over their retirement, finally getting on the same page with their spouse. I want to hear from you. So make sure you drop me a line at katihyershow@gmail.com. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Find me anywhere. Connect with me, because I want to hear from you. So ladies, just one last question. What is going on with your money?
I got 100